Welcome into Cavaliers Live, presented by Wayside Furniture. The Cavaliers beat the Orlando Magic, a big victory, 119-105. Standing by here with Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan, look, you guys got in at over 3 o'clock in the morning, second night of a back-to-back. What did it take to gut this out with the energy?
I mean, shoot, most of us didn't go. I didn't go to sleep till 4:30, 5 o'clock. Woke up at 10. So these are the moments like you enjoy. Like this is like AAU, right? Like just go out there, you know what I'm saying? Know they're going to be a hard-nosed team. We had a great win last night, but collectively, man, we just continue to find ways. Like we all knew we were going to be tired, you know what I mean? But at some point, you got to find it. I didn't have a great start. Jalen Tyson kept us fault. Me and Evan weren't really shooting the ball well to start. But offensively, man, Jalen, Quan, J.A., Dean, like everybody, Lonzo, everybody came in and gave big minutes. And, you know, that's what it's going to take. And we see these guys again on Monday, so we got to be ready.
You mentioned stacking wins just last night, right? So what impressed you most about how you guys handled this one?
I mean, even though, like I said, the offense wasn't necessarily great, we weren't making shots. We held them like 23 points in that first quarter, right? And the same thing with the second. Like, that was the biggest thing. We just kept getting stops. We knew eventually we were going to find a way offensively as a collective. And the biggest thing is we just stayed together. You remember early in the year, we were letting these offensive mishaps kind of mess us up mentally. We weren't doing the necessary things on the defensive end because of that. We didn't do that as a collective, and you see what happens.
All right, I got to draw attention again to you being the leading scorer in second halves, because first half you got 9 points, second half 20.
Looking a little shaky.
Looking a little shaky in that first half. But look, what switches for you? How are you able to go into that zone?
I mean, I work hard. A lot of the looks I was missing, they just were misses. Like, there was ones rolling in the rim. You see me, like, looking at the rim, like, come on, that's going to happen at some point. But I tell everybody all the time, and I tell all these guys, like, trust your work. At some point in time, the work through fatigue, you know what I mean, through all that, it's going to pay off. And that's kind of my mindset. It's like, I work too hard. Hey, sometimes the ball may not go in, but I don't lose confidence. I keep trusting in my foundation. And it helps when my teammates believe in me and tell me to keep going, right? So that's always a bonus.
All right, let's get on that plane, huh?
Man, let's get out of here. Be safe, everybody.
Appreciate you. The Cavaliers, a big winner in this one over the Magic, 119-105. Thanks to Donovan Mitchell for stopping by. Hey, stay tuned. We've got more to follow on this postgame show. Brad's going to give his thoughts with me. We're going to hear from Kenny Atkinson on tonight's performance. We might even have a player stop by. Who knows? But you got to stick around. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back to Cavaliers Live, presented by Wayside Furniture. The Cavaliers beat the Magic 119-105. Second night of a back-to-back. We started the show by talking about them getting in at 3 o'clock in the morning. You going to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. These Cavaliers as well. How impressive was this win, Brad?
Yeah, this is a big win. This is a win, not, I don't worry about the physical part. Everybody goes through it's the mental part of it. And I thought the Cavs showed as much mental toughness as I've seen them show all season long. So that's very encouraging. We're playing some really good basketball here over the last couple of weeks, and I see some fundamental things going into place that are going to be good for us come April, come playoff time. So the building blocks are being put in place, but to go overcome the mental fatigue of trying to come in here and play against a team that's been waiting on you for 2 nights and play as well as we did and control the tempo, that's big-time stuff.
Yeah, it was a really, really big win, and a lot of that was due to Donovan Mitchell, who is our Misney make-em-pay moment. Donovan, first half, 9 points, and you're just kind of waiting for Donovan Mitchell time to heat up. You kept mentioning on the broadcast, and he certainly did. 27 second-half points, Brad.
Yeah, he didn't settle. He started going to the basket, using some of that explosive arsenal and just absolutely attacking this Magic defense. They had no answer for him. And meanwhile, you got Lonzo Ball and Craig Porter and Dean Wade and these guys making shots, buoying this team and confusing the defense. And then Donovan just absolutely dismantled the Magic in that second half.
He had a big night the other night, too, had 33 points. Look, the thing with Donovan, especially now, without Darius and having to take on even different roles, how do you feel like he's even elevating his game to another level?
Yeah, I think the big thing for Donovan is when he really buys into the defensive end and defends at an elite level. With 9 assists tonight and really being in, he's one of the league leaders in steals. I think Donovan's the best player in the NBA. He just doesn't get the credit, and he is phenomenal on both ends of the floor, and he is a conduit. He makes sure all of his guys eat, so to speak, before he gets going. And by doing that, it's going to make this team better, and you saw it tonight. Jalen Tyson had a great first half. Tomlin played great in the first half. Ball played great, and that's all because of Donovan sharing that basketball. Thomas Bryant hitting a big 3 in the corner. It's because of Donovan.
Yeah, you mentioned it. The bench play was absolutely crucial for the Cavs in this game. I love that Donovan, the first thing that he did was shout out the bench guys, shout out the Craigs, shout out the Tomlins. What really stood out to you about pick a bench player out there tonight?
Yeah, no, for me, it was, obviously Lonzo Ball was phenomenal. I thought Thomas Bryant played really, really well. The thing when you're rotational players, you've got to come in and at least maintain. Well, our guys actually accentuated everything and took advantage and spread the lead out even further. It showed some freshness and aggressiveness. Tyrese Proctor made a big, big shot there. So you want your bench to do that because that is a tremendous weapon when you don't lose any ground when you rotate these guys in. Instead, you gain ground.
Hey, he's not a bench guy, but Dean Wade. Last night, I remember Kenny Atkinson in the press conference. He was shouting out other guys. He stopped the press conference and he said, hey, I got to shout out Dean Wade for the defensive plays he makes and also because on offense, we can count on him not to make mistakes, not to turn the ball over.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Dean Wade enough, right? He doesn't get the praise.
Right.
What type of glue does he bring when he's out there?
Yeah, Dean's an elite defender, and he does a great job with his size at really slowing down the other team's small forwards, but he can rebound, he can shoot the ball, and when he's playing with confidence, we're a different basketball team. When Dean is on his game and has the confidence making his shots and is aggressive, we are a really, really good basketball team. So we need Dean to be healthy and confident and playing the way he is right now.
All right, well, let's revisit one of the legs from our FanDuel's same game parlay from pregame. We had our eyes on Evan Mobley in this one. Obviously, he was coming off 2 incredible performances. Brad, it's hard to make it 3 in a row of the best games of the season, right? Yeah. But he still had a solid game today.
Yeah, he's real solid. Evan's very, very dominant inside, blocked some shots, was very aggressive around the rim. Did his thing tonight. He was one of a group of guys who played well together, and Evan just plays winning basketball, and that's what's important.
All right, so let's take a look at how we did on our parlay from pregame. I don't think we did too great here. No, the Cavaliers did win, and that is what matters. But with the 2 guys that we picked there, what are you going to do?
Banchero struggled a little bit early on, had a big second half. But
we did keep him under, though.
We did keep him. That's true.
We did keep him under.
It's one of those games, it was a tough game. The Cavs were in a little bit of mud, but they played smart, used their heads. This is a big basketball game. It's a good win for the Cavs.
Really good win for the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell once again came up big in this one, put the team on his back with a supporting cast when they needed it most. We've got more coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll hear from Kenny Atkinson. Welcome back to Cavaliers Live, presented by Wayside Furniture. The Cavaliers beat the Magic 119-105. Let's head over to Kenny Atkinson for his postgame press conference presented by Wayside Furniture.
I liked it. 4 of them were road wins. That's a sign of a good team. Had to go through some adversity and back-to-backs and all that, and the home and home with Philly. So, good sign. I love how our young guys continue to impress, and then, Lonzo Ball tonight, I thought was, not just the made shots, defense and, steals. He looked great tonight.
There was a stretch in the second quarter where you increased the lead to 9, and Donovan was on the bench at that point. I think you were using a lineup that hadn't been used at all throughout the course of the season. When you are able to do that, what does that show?
I mean, trust. I think it's trust. Trust the roster. Trust your bench. I felt like tonight it was one of those nights we needed, we had to play everybody. Everybody was going to play back to back. Definitely fatigued. We just kind of rotated guys and then Donovan. We just had to ride him. I mean, we usually get him out in that fourth quarter, and I felt like the game was in the balance. No, we have a day off tomorrow, so we rode him. That was a good call by the coach.
Did you see from Donovan in that fourth quarter?
Oh man, he was great. And I thought he was great defensive, right? At both ends, right? He didn't conserve himself on defense and made others better. And obviously the shot making was insane. And it was a nice variety of paint and his threes.
Yeah. Coach, obviously Don is the ultimate closer, but Dean Wade, the final 5.5 minutes of the game, a block, a steal, 2 rebounds, that clutch 3. How instrumental was Dean there at the end? I'm
so glad you noticed that. Someone said he pitched a perfect game today, right? He didn't miss from he's kind of the ultimate glue guy. You know, I know that's the cliche everyone uses, but it's true. You get all the defense stuff, and when he makes threes, we're a tough team to beat. But it's great having an elite stopper that you can rely on in the big moments. And like you said, he hit the big three there to I felt like that kind of closed the game.
How would you characterize the identity of the team at this time?
I don't know. It's weird. I think we're doing it by committee. You know, I think we're celebrating our depth. Our young guys have been a great story this season, and we've had guys out, and obviously Donovan and Evan have stepped up this on these road games we've had. So but it feels like a collective effort. I know Donovan had a great game tonight, but I feel like everybody's contributing.
Jay.
Coach, players.
Well, speaking of Jaylen Tyson, he finished this game with 17 points, one of many Cavaliers to come up big here in the win over the Magic. We've got more after the break. Welcome back to Cavaliers Live, presented by Wayside Furniture. The Cavaliers beat the Magic 119-105 on the second night of a back-to-back. Catch Golic and Golic at their new showtime, 3:30 p.m. Then stick around for Stan Verrett with Countdown Live, presented by Prime at 5:30 p.m. Two big shows back-to-back. All the sports you need, all in one place, only on FanDuel Sports Network. Well, let's take a look at what we've got upcoming for the Cavaliers. Hey, it's another showdown against the Orlando Magic, but this time at Rocket Arena. That one, though, was on PCAP. We actually won't see you until Friday. The next game is on Wednesday against the LA Lakers coming to town. LeBron James makes his one trip back to Cleveland, Ohio on Wednesday. On Thursday, the Cavs up on a plane to Phoenix to get ready to take on the Suns on Friday. Should be a good one there. And then they'll hop on another plane to take on the Portland Trailblazers. That is the start of the longest trip of the year for the Cavaliers. We'll be looking forward to seeing what the Cavs do this upcoming week. It was a fun one here in Orlando as the Cavs outperformed the Magic. What a game coming off the second night of a back-to-back. Some tired legs. Didn't matter. They showed some consistency. They're stacking wins. They've won now 3 straight. Now it's time to leave the 70-degree weather and see what we've got back home in Cleveland. It looks like my weather app says it feels like 1 degree. We'll have to see what it says when we drive on in. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.